You ever feel so down that you have basically no motivation to do anything? Feel worthlessness? Feel like you're trapped in your own head? If so, I suggest you keep watching. Depression is a common thing. Most of us can say that we've gone through it at some point in our lives or are going through it now, especially with COVID and everyone being stuck in their homes and hardly being able to do anything. Now, the best thing with depression is time, but there are a few things that can help. First, the number one thing is self-care. And I know this one is a difficult one because when you're depressed, you basically don't care about anything. You don't feel like getting up in the morning. You don't feel like exercising or getting a routine going. But the best thing that you can do is really essentially distract yourself. Because your mind is going to keep feeding you negative thoughts and you're going to keep being upset unless you distract yourself, and you have to really force yourself to do other things. This is easier said than done. But with self-care, things that go into that would be exercising, working out, building endurance. I will link some exercises below or some workouts that I follow. Chloe Ting, she's great. I suggest you check her out. Many of you have probably heard of her already. You want to try to go outside as much as you can. Just to get some fresh air, sit outside, read a book, or do whatever it is. Go for a run. When it was warmer, I would go on runs and it felt really refreshing. And even though it didn't cure my depression, because again, the best thing is just time and just waiting it out and trying to get through it, I would feel better at times because I was distracting myself, because I was doing something and focusing on something else rather than focusing on being depressed. The second thing I would recommend is going back to your hobbies, figuring out what it is that you just love to do. And I know that when you're depressed, it's hard because, again, you don't feel like doing anything and your hobbies just don't seem that interesting anymore. So I get that. Even if it's one thing a day that you like to do it. For me, it's YouTube. I love filming and I love helping you guys and giving you advice and making music videos and having fun. So that was kind of my crutch, I guess, in a sense. Something that is getting me through this difficult time. So you want to find your hobbies, things that you love to do, and just do them as much as you can. If it's drawing, draw something pretty much every single day, and you're gonna feel better because you're doing something. And again, big thing here is distraction. You're gonna distract your mind and you're gonna focus on something else, and you won't focus on depression as much. Another thing, this would actually be with self-care, but remembering to eat healthy or to eat at all. Because when you're depressed, sometimes you don't feel like eating at all, or you're always hungry and you're always eating. Try to find a balance between the two. Make sure you're getting the nutrients that you need, because scientifically speaking, if you're balanced inside, with the nutrients that you need, then you're gonna be balanced mentally and hormonally and all that. Thirdly, and this is a difficult one, and many of you are gonna say, I'm not doing this. Why on earth should I do this tip? But it's actually talking about it. Sharing with others what's making you depressed, or the fact that you're depressed, may seem like a crazy idea at first, but it will help, because hearing what they did to get through their depression might help you. And also just talking about it, just letting it out, might help you come to terms with how you're feeling. Because there is no one cure for depression, okay? You can't just take these meds and your depression will go away. That's not true. It can help in the short term, but it's not the solution in the long run. So at first you're gonna feel like you just don't feel like talking. You just want to be alone. That's gonna make your depression worse. Because when you're alone with your thoughts. And then that's when you feel trapped in your head. So you want to try to grow closer with your family. You want to try to talk to them. You want to try to explain what's making you depressed. I mean, you might not even know, but if you do know, if it's school, if it's a relationship, if it's this time, feeling trapped at home and feeling like you're not really doing much, then talk about it. Especially now, because people are going through the same thing that you are. We're all in this together. As cheesy and cliche as that sounds, we're all in this together. Fourthly, and I touched up on this a little bit, going outside as much as you can. Or even for a drive. Get in the car and go for a drive and just listen to your favorite music and do that as many times as you need to. Because when I was depressed, I would go through periods of time where I would just not know what to do and I would feel bored a lot. So you want to go outside, you want to do stuff. Just look outside at this beautiful world that's out there. And remember the things that you're grateful for. Now, people would tell me to write down all the things that I'm grateful for. And I did at first, maybe for like 2 days. And I don't know, it didn't really help me that much. But I think just thinking about the things that you're grateful for will make you appreciate them that much more and will be another thing for you to focus on. Lastly, it's time. Time really is the best medicine. So if you've been depressed for months or years, it will get better because life goes on. Eventually you're gonna move on and you're gonna realize I'm not depressed anymore. But it is something that's gonna take time and it's not, it's not overnight like, oh, okay, I'm fine now. So you really have to be patient with yourself and you have to be kind to yourself because you can't force yourself out of your depression. You can try to make it better. You can try to, self-care, do your hobbies, things that you like, go outside as much as you can, and be patient with yourself. I promise you, it will get better. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you want more advice on anything else. Bye!